Hi there, Ian here. How you doing today? So today I've got my top 10 tips if you are somebody that is either looking to start a business, is in their first year of business, maybe you're a millennial thinking about leaving school, college and looking to start business. There may be some tips in here actually for people that have been in business a while but that are struggling. So after 15 years, I've learned so much about some of the key ingredients that are required to make sure that being a business owner is a successful activity. So 5 or 6 minutes, we're just going to list these bullet points out. These are 10 key ingredients that you're going to need if you want to be successful in business today. If that's of interest to you, then stay tuned because we're going to go straight into it. Okay, so number one is to have 3 or 4 clearly defined goals that last for 12 months. So it doesn't matter whether it's February, June, August or December, have 3 or 4 clearly defined goals that will last you for the next 12 months. So if you're watching this video and it's October, then set yourself 3 or 4 clearly defined goals that are going to take you right the way around to September the following year. Number 2 is to love the activity that you need to undertake to deliver those goals. It's pointless having really exciting goals. It could be a turnover goal, it could be a growth goal, it could be a new product goal, it could be a recruitment goal, team building goal. But if you don't love and are not interested in the activity, I pretty much guarantee you won't do what's required in order to achieve the goal, no matter how attractive that goal might be. Actually, the activity needs to be more attractive than the arrival of the destination or the goal. So love the activity. If you don't love it, you've got to find a way to farm it out. And if you can't afford to farm it out or you can't farm it out, you've got to find a way to embrace it, to enjoy it. But it's a key ingredient. You've got to love the process that is required to get to the big 12-month goals. Number 3 is to study marketing. Study what's on trend. It's one of these things that over 15 years constantly changes. So something that is trendy now and interesting to do today may be completely irrelevant in the next 12-18 months. And in 12-18 months, I guarantee you there will be activities that people are doing that don't exist today. So give up time and make sure that you study marketing on a regular basis. Know what's on trend, know what's right for your trade or profession, and make sure that you're doing the most appropriate things from a marketing perspective that's relevant to you. So number 4 is to build your network. I can't overstate this one enough. That it's such an important element nowadays to the growth and success of business owners is how good their networks are. So one of the lines that you'll hear me say from stages is that your net worth is your network. Also your network is your net worth. So the bigger, stronger and the broader your network goes, the more successful, more likely the more successful you will be. So nowadays, so maybe 10 years ago, we were fundamentally offline networking. And nowadays, there is this big lean towards online networks, whether it be the social platforms, whether it be through our website. But there is such a big steer and lean towards online network growth. But actually shaking hands with people, having a breakfast, going networking is still critically important. So growing that network, both the social networks and offline networks, is number 4, really, really important. Number 5, track your numbers. Now, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. If we were to use a car as an analogy, there are literally, I'm guessing, thousands of data points that we could track on a car. So from tire pressures to oil temperatures to different zones in the car, and just so many different data points that we could go to on a car. But what a car does is it gives you a dashboard with your key numbers on, and that's a really good way to look at your business. So rather than getting stuck in all the detail of these multitude and different layers of data points, is actually to identify 5 or 6 key data points that you want to measure and track. So revenue, profit, margin, conversion rate, number of leads that you're generating, your average order value. So I was with somebody this morning, some fabulous numbers. I said to her, you know, one of the reasons why your business will grow and be successful is because you're on top of your numbers. So the key to this is that you need all the data, but then to draw out 5 or 6 key numbers that I call magic numbers that you'd want to track on a regular basis. Number 6, this one's, forgive me, but it is a key element, is to find a coach or a mentor, somebody that is outside of your business that will kick your butt, will keep you accountable, will stop you from making some of those silly, maybe not so silly because at the time you don't see them as mistakes, but you know, 15 years ago, this whole business coaching profession was still, I would say, fairly embryonic, still early days. I can remember having to even explain the concept to business owners of how it works. And I think nowadays, it's kind of readily accepted that what we do and certainly how some of it works. And so identifying somebody to work with that's external to your business on a regular basis will help you in so many ways. So they'll stretch you, they'll give you some of the answers, which obviously we all love. We all love to know how to do something without having to work it out for ourselves. They'll keep you on track, keep you accountable, and share the journey with you. So coach or a mentor, key ingredient to the success of business owners. Number 7, which is kind of in line with the investment in a coach, is to invest in yourself in a multitude of ways. So I give up Friday afternoons every week for personal development time. So I've personally invested in my own personal growth week in, week out for the last 15 years. So I've since January, I've been deep diving into new things, lots of new ways of growing and developing a business for me personally. So, you know, always take time out to invest in yourself. And the best way to do that is to schedule that time out in your diary on a regular basis to invest in yourself. Number 8, work towards being positioned and identified as an expert. Actually, you know, what I wrote down was work towards expert status. Now, the key word here is status. So as in, it's not something that you should be saying about yourself. So it's a bit of a trick question. I'll sometimes ask from a stage, I'll ask, you know, who in the room considers themselves to be an expert? And people will put their hands up, and actually it should be finger pointing that goes on, and you should be identifying or should be identified by others as an expert. One of the true measures of being positioned as an expert is when people are saying you're an expert. So like I say, it's a whole other topic. There'll be a video on how to position yourself as an expert. It's a trick I missed early days. But I have to say, if you start out on this journey and you're new into business, have this as one of your objectives. What do I need to do, and how do I position myself to be recognized as an expert in my trade or profession? Key ingredients to success. Number 9 is to be customer centric. The more your business is focused on the customer, the more likely it is that it's going to be successful. So, and everything that you do should wrap around the customer. And I know it might sound a bit like duh, but you'll be surprised. And actually, you don't have to, you don't have to look very far to see how many businesses around you are not customer centric. They are self-centered, and they are about the business owner, not about the customer. And the world that we live in today with the social platforms, it is incredibly powerful for us as customers to have all of the control and all of the voice about the products and services that we buy. And so the more focused you are as a business owner on being customer focused and being customer centric and the customer experience, the more likely you are that your customers will say nice things about you across all of these social platforms, and the more successful you will become. I think it's always been an important area. You know, as I say, it sounds like a bit of a no-brainer not to be customer-centric, but actually identify it as a key objective in your business, and make sure that everything you're putting together is wrapped around being about the customer. So the last one is to be patient. Number 10 is be patient and recognize that you know, this isn't the X factor, and often These things take time. I would say I was probably 6 years in before I even started to feel comfortable that I'd got to the other side, and I hadn't fallen by the wayside. And there were lots of stumbles and falls up until that point where it felt incredibly fragile, that I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. And the sleepless nights and the no money and all of those kind of things were in place. And then maybe year 5, year 6, and I found the balance and found my voice and started to be recognised as an expert in what I do. Then all the pieces started to drop into place. Now the key thing about being patient is that those that recognise when they start out on the journey that it's a marathon and not a sprint are more likely to get to the end line than if somebody goes running out with all the ambition, drive and optimism that you need, but not really fully appreciating that you need to pace yourself and know that this is going to take time. So, and I think certainly for me, it's a new one that I've added in over recent years, is this whole importance of recognizing that you need to be patient, especially for some of the younger ones that are starting out on this journey of being a business owner. Is that I think that is part of the younger character traits now, is that we all want things now, and there is a generation that are growing up with 2-hour deliveries and having things today, and actually business is still and can be still a slow burner and takes time to evolve and develop. So I'm not saying that you can't do it quickly, but what I would say is part of the key ingredient of successful businesses that I work with over the last 15 years has been that they are patient people, tenacious but patient too. So there you go, literally just 10-15 minutes, 3 or 4 big goals for 12 months. Love the activity of delivering against those goals. Study your marketing, build a network both on and offline, so important. Track your key numbers. Get yourself a coach or a mentor to keep you accountable. Invest in yourself on a regular basis. Work towards being recognized and positioned as an expert. Be customer centric and customer focused. And then last but not least, be patient. Just be patient with what it is that you're doing. Hope you found that useful. My name's been Ian. We look forward to catching up with you on the next video. But before you go, please do click on the subscribe and bell button. It would be very much appreciated. Lots more videos coming this year. We look forward to catching you on the next one. Bye for now.